You know, these events don't happen by themselves, so I want to extend a special recognition and share our appreciation for this year's 2013 Walk Planning Committee. I'm going to read off the names quickly, and for those that are on the committee, when you hear your name, just raise your hand so that people can identify with you. But I want to say thank you to Carol Amato, Kelly Beckler, Tammy Cruz, Jane Krosky, Charity Draman, Leslie Erb, Jennifer Garrick, Sue Grosenbacher, Natalie Hale, Leslie Hess, Lauren Kirby, Melody Kirby, Vonda Matthews, and Pat Tamey. Let's give them a big round of applause. And let's do it again because they worked really hard this year. Did you notice the raffle items over there? We've got silent auction items, we've got dozens and dozens of raffle items. Everything you see here today was either donated or underwritten. So we thank not only the committee, but also our sponsors, because without the corporate support, we would never be able to put together these events. So give me just a moment, I want to acknowledge our sponsors. Our gold sponsors are Alter Care of Ohio, Home Helpers, Westview Healthy Living, Autumnwood Nursing and Rehabilitation, Glendora Healthcare, Life Care Hospice, and our national teams, Brookdale Senior Living, Emeritus Senior Living, Sunrise Senior Living, Genworth, Homestead, and Kindred. Let's give them a big round of applause. And I also want to give a special recognition to our chapter-wide presenting sponsor, Crossroads Hospice Charitable Foundation. Let's give them a round of applause. Your hands are going to be more tired than your feet, I think, after today's walk. So thank you for indulging my constant applauding. But with Crossroads Hospice Charitable Foundation as our presenting sponsor, I'd like to introduce you to Kelly Rose, who's going to say just a couple words about why they support this cause.
All right, Kelly.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I just wanted to recognize some of my Crossroads team members, just a wave. Providing end-of-life care for hospice is a wonderful gift, and when people give back and make donations to Crossroads, we are like, what can we do? So we started this charitable foundation, so all of those donations come right back to you in this community. So if you would like to talk more about volunteering or our charitable foundation, it's for outreach, support, and education. I would love to talk to you. So have a great walk, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Kelly. So for the first timers, one of the things that we do every year, and it's really exciting for me, is we like to spotlight a particular family that not only has gone through this journey, but has also been supportive of the association and really gets out there and talks about raising awareness and just kind of getting people connected, not only with us, but sharing the awareness. And so what I'd like to do, this year's honoree family is the Hattons, who are representing the Baird family. It's a long history, which you'll hear a little bit about. But to share a little bit about their story, I'd like to introduce Pastor Eric Fairhurst. Good morning, Pastor.
Thank you. Good morning. It's an honor for me to have been asked to represent the Baird family. So most of them are up here, but I think I saw it there. Okay. They're all in these white shirts and says the Baird clan, and we walk in memory. A wonderful family, and I've had the opportunity to shepherd them through a portion of their loved ones' walk as they finish their lives. So as I served as the chaplain at Westview Healthy Living, it was a privilege for me to be with two of the sisters. And this family, as you'll hear briefly, has been touched deeply, not just in this generation, but in previous generations by Alzheimer's. And so they understand what this disease means to the core of their being, and they've walked through it. So I'm grateful today to represent them. Would you give them a hand, first of all? Now, they've shared a number of remarks, and I'm going to do my best to edit them and get them across to you in an understandable way. So I'd like to begin with a little bit of history about the Baird family. It's the story of three sisters from a family of 5 children who were born in Middletown, Ohio, after their parents migrated from the hills of Kentucky so their father could work at the American Rolling Steel Mill in Middletown. The family also worked together tending their small farm. June Baird Smith, Donna Baird Hatton and Patricia Baird Pergram succumbed to complications during late-stage Alzheimer's. All three sisters were high school and college grads. June was the eldest of the three, and she was a World War II nurse cadet and completed 30 years of nursing service with the VA Medical Center in Omaha, Nebraska. June began to exhibit the first signs of dementia at the young age of 50.
Wow.
And suffered the debilitating effects of Alzheimer's until her death at age 77. During the last several years of her nursing career, her husband and longtime caregiver, Chuck, assisted her with selecting her clothing, meal preparation, and transportation to and from work, as June had difficulty remembering the route. She kept detailed notes. Now this is astounding that she functioned as a nurse with the effects of this disease, but she kept detailed notes at work to compensate for her memory loss. Donna lived in Middletown most of her life with husband Darrell and moved to Worcester in 2007 when she could no longer be cared for at home. While in Middletown, she worked as a bank teller at the Barnett's Bank and later at First National Bank, and enrolled in college in her 40s for a second career because she always wanted to be a nurse. After graduating from Miami University of Ohio, she completed 25 years of service as a registered nurse at the Dayton VA Medical Center. Youngest sister Patty also was a graduate of Miami University of Ohio and retired from being a school teacher in an elementary school, and she moved from Trenton, Ohio to Worcester to reside in long-term care with her sister Donna. Patty and Donna, and this is where I really got to know these sisters, these two. June was gone well before this. But Patty and Donna appeared to know each other. Despite not recognizing the rest of the family, they were often observed sitting together on the sofa, taking leisurely strolls, holding hands in the Bridges unit at Westview Healthy Living. This is a treasured memory of mine and our staff as we watched these two lovingly care for one another. They would walk hand in hand from place to place to the chapel and back, and they never missed chapel. Patty lost her fight with Alzheimer's disease at age 80 in the fall of 2011, and Donna passed most recently on January 28th of this year at age 86. Their legacy continues with their three daughters, Kimberly, Heather, and Melody, who've joined Westview's walk team and are strong advocates for a cure for Alzheimer's disease. And I can attest to their commitment to this. They'd like to thank all of the participants for this year's walk and in assisting in this fight, not only for the overall cause, but on a personal level, since it's touched them so personally, and they're very honored to be chosen this year. They'd like to express the importance of time. And I think these are some very important remarks that most of us probably are aware of, but we need to continue to impress on other people. There is still, of course, no cure for Alzheimer's. We don't get a survivor's walk at one of these events. It's time to share how you feel with your loved ones while they can still understand. And the sisters wonder, you know, did they tell their mother and their aunts that they loved them enough while they still had time, while they could still understand? When they spent time with them, did they share the important things that needed to be said? Did their aunts understand how important they were to them in their growing up? Because they were very, very tied together as a family. She urges, all the sisters urge, that we not waste time denying or ignoring this condition that you or a loved one may have. Time is short, and Alzheimer's steals it from us in a way that we may not even notice until it's too late. Cherish the time that you have and communicate well. Melody writes that she remembers for a long period during her mother's illness, it was always Sunday in October. And she went with it. She always had to be dressed nice, too warm most of the time because she thought it was fall when it was summer. And she always had to have her Bible with her. Her love for Jesus Christ was unwavering, and it was that love and faith she instilled in her children, and that's what got them through these end stages. Unless you've been there, you don't know what it's like to see the fear and confusion in your parents' eyes during the earlier stages of the disease, and to watch a stylish mother be satisfied with greasy hair and sloppy clothes. You don't know what it's like unless you've been through it, to see your father losing his life's mate. And when your mother forgets who you are. Or to see her passing, surrounded by family, knowing that she really doesn't remember any of those people. How alone did she really feel at those moments? This family has been strengthened and comforted by their faith in Jesus Christ, and they know that He was there with her and them in those last stages, assisting and indeed carrying her home. You know, Donna and every person, Patty, June, every person who suffered, and this family had 3 family members from a previous generation with Alzheimer's. They all have rich histories. They all have rich lives. They all have experiences and memories. They're like you and me. And we can't forget that. We can't lose that in the midst of this disease. There are excerpts from Donna's journal that are so poignant as she talks about where she worked as a young lady out of high school and then taking a job in the bank and then meeting Daryl, her husband, and when they were first married in the first little apartments that they had and how sparsely they were furnished and how rough it was at first, but how much they loved each other. And then when they began to have a family, she talked also about music and their dating years and then the marriages of their daughters and how precious it was and how hard it was to see them move away and not be close to them anymore. Heather writes, her mom called her Donnie, Dad and everyone else called her Donna, and my sisters and I got to call her Mom. Heather says, I was my parents' worst nightmare. She told me that she prayed for me and gave me to God at night when she didn't know where I was and prayed me through. She never stopped trusting and trusting in the good that was going to come. She did so much for so many. As she made a career of nursing and working with veterans, it was typical of her to be an example in her willingness to give to those in need. Many veterans were extremely grateful, and there were some who were less than grateful, but she always gave special care and showed love and appreciation of their worth to everyone. She told us that when her daddy said he was going somewhere, she was always ready to leave. She'd say, let me get my hat, and she'd be ready to go in a moment's notice. She was always ready to travel, and she did a lot of that and exposed her family to many precious places and wonderful memories together. And Heather writes, you know, when it was time for her to go, she could just envision her saying, let me get my hat and put on one of 1,000 pair of beautiful shoes and make her way to heaven with the Lord Jesus and be in His embrace and talk with Him. Melody's written a poem, and I'd like to share it with you in the closing. I wish you knew the mom I knew. I wish you knew the mom I knew, her warm embrace and comforting smile. I wish you knew the mom I knew, so full of fun, style, and grace, a fashion plate of her time indeed. I wish you knew the mom I knew, with firm hands and corrective ways. She raised a family of girls to be praised. I wish you knew the mom I knew, who loved her children, grandkids, and husband too. I wish you knew the mom I knew, a trusted friend and loyal confidant who always had an ear to lend. I wish you knew the mom I knew, who danced and sang and skied and played, whose hands would work the day away. I wish you knew the mom I knew, smart and fiscal, funny and spry, with trust and loyalty her faith never waned. I wish you knew the mom I knew, but sadly Alzheimer's has taken her too. She doesn't even know my name. I wish you knew the mom I knew. You would have loved her as she did me and you. But today she's with our Lord above, and He's always known the mom I knew. Miss you, Mom, and see you soon. Would you once again appreciate the Baird family?
Thank you, Pastor, for sharing those words, and thank you, Melody, for that beautiful poem. That is just absolutely incredible. We all know how tough it is to go through a journey like this, but it's also tough to share that story publicly and to be that face of this disease and to share your journey with other people. So we appreciate each and every one of you for doing that. On behalf of the Alzheimer's Association, I'd like to present a little award for being our honoree family. Who would like to accept that? Thank you very, very much.
We just, on behalf of the Alzheimer's family and with my, from our family's trust, we wanted to donate $1,000 towards the walk.
That is awesome. Thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you. All right, so we heard, as Pastor was saying, each of us in this room, we all have our own different reasons for being here. Some of our paths are very similar, others are very different. Earlier this morning, many of you picked up our pinwheel flowers, our promise flowers, and we have 4 colors, and each of those colors represent a different relationship with the disease. And to lead us in our promise flower ceremony, I'd like to introduce you to Jeannie Narens, who's new with our team, been on board for 4 weeks, doing a tremendous job, but welcome Jeannie, and I'm going to have her lead us on the promise flower part.
Hi everybody, thanks so much for making today a success. I'm thrilled to be with the Alzheimer's Association, as I've also had my own personal journey with Alzheimer's. So I know you're itching to walk, so let's get started. If time allowed, each of us would share our own story of how Alzheimer's has touched our lives. Our Promise Flower ceremony lets us have a snapshot of how each of us are affected. The purple flower represents a walker who has lost someone to Alzheimer's, and Melody has the purple flower this morning. Melody says it was heartbreaking to watch our mother disappear, reappear, then disappear again little by little, but to lose her altogether in death was somehow a bittersweet moment of freedom. We could reflect on the wonderful mom, grandma, and friend she had been rather than the shell she had become. Thank you for sharing with us, Melody. The yellow flower represents caregivers. Jamie Pittman, there's Jamie. She holds the yellow flower, and she helps care for patients in the Alzheimer unit at Smithville Western Care Center. As part of the staff there, she provides activities and compassionate care for the many residents there. Thank you, Jamie, and all the other caregivers that are here today. The orange flower represents supporter of the cause, and Jenny Garrick holds the orange flower. Jenny has worked in the senior care industry for 13 years, currently at Brookdale in Worcester. She and her family also support the cause for a very personal reason. Her paternal grandmother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's 4 years ago. Thank you to Jenny and her family for being here with us today. The blue flower, we have a special guest with the blue flower here today, is Jaren Wolf and Jackie Wolf and her little dog. Not Toto, but her little dog. They are here on behalf of and in honor of Joan Wolf, who would have liked to have been here today but could not due to tests at the hospital as we speak. Jaren holds the blue pinwheel in honor of her grandma, who was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease almost 2 years ago. One of Joan's biggest frustrations is just not remembering what she has done minute by minute or day to day, often misplacing items and having to be dependent on others for so much. Jaren is often aware of her grandma's struggles and will help her find things she has misplaced. Jaren and her mom are here as caregivers, raising awareness about Alzheimer's to help find a cure for future grandmas. Thanks, Jaren. So at this time, if you are holding a blue flower, if you could raise it high and keep it up in the air for us. Way up. There you go. Purple flowers, raise them up. We want to see everybody at the end of this. So if you're holding an orange flower, raise it up high. And the yellow flowers. If you look around, we all are here for many different reasons, some of us for multiple reasons, but we're here to support each other. So we thank you again for being here with us today, and we're all in this together. So have a great walk out there, everybody. Thanks.
All right, are we about ready to get stepping off here?
Yeah.
We are going to ask our honoree family to lead us on the way. Before we do that, I want to say again, we are all here for different reasons, no matter what our journey is, but today we are here as one family, with one voice, with one mission and one vision, and that is to end Alzheimer's. Do you want to end Alzheimer's? Yeah! Do you want to end Alzheimer's? Yeah! Then we are going to take that first step back together as a family, as a community. I'm going to ask our friend Kenny Glick, who, by the way, every single year donates his time to be here with us. Please show your appreciation for Kenny. Thank you so much. Make your way downstairs. Please be careful going downstairs. Our honorary family will lead us on the walk, and we'll see you back here in just a little bit.